I'm Mark Livingston, a director of the AIOFP, that's the Association of Independently Owned Financial Professionals. I'm here today with Lionel Rodrigues, head of IFM Securities. And Lionel is the owner of a financial advisory business, but also a lawyer. He's been advising the AIOFP about regulatory changes and past and imminent in the financial services industry. Welcome, Lionel.
Mark, good to be here with you.
Good. Just 3 questions today.
Right.
I hope we can make it simple.
Yeah.
What changes are imminent in the financial services industry?
Well, I think that the financial service industry has been marked by tremendous change in the past decade, but more immediately we've got the aftermath of the Quality of Advice Review, which recognises that there's a significant requirement for advice. The issue is, how do we deliver that? And the most imminent changes have been given to us in Tranche 1 and now Tranche 2. And they really focus around providing advice, an affordable and accessible advice to most Australians, basically to improve their financial welfare. Basically, the changes are quite radical in the sense is that you may have different classes of advisors, you will have a change in the legislation, and you have a change in the focus of best interest or good interest. So there are some issues with that.
So are they trying to simplify things so that the advisor is able to spend less time and therefore charge less to the consumers? Is that what's behind it?
Well, the whole Quality of Advice Review is really about accessibility and affordability. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, it's important because the dwindling number of advisors that we have. I mean, if you look at the Quality of Advice Review, it says that in 2018 there were 28,000 advisors. By 2022, that number was 16,000. Now, as we speak today, that number is roughly 15,500. Fewer advisors, greater demand for services, and I think that the imminent things that we're dealing with is actually how do we service this cohort of people.
Demand and supply.
Demand and supply. But Tranche 1 and 2 of the QAR, or implementation of the Delivering Better Financial Outcomes, DBFO as we all call it, is towards making advice more accessible for the consumer.
Okay. So you made, on behalf of the AIOFP, a number of submissions to the government while these were being formulated. And I know that you're a bit shy about it, but it appears that they're taking up most of your suggestions. Would you like to go over what they are?
It's the cost of advice and how much time advisors have to spend complying. But we at AIOFP had put together a number of submissions. Some of those was about the life insurance. Very clearly, from 17 to even 2021, the latest data we have, it's in the QAR report. The underinsurance is quite severe. So we went to government and said, look, you need to readdress this life insurance framework, as in the payment of commissions. And if you don't like commissions, how about you allow our consumers to make a decision whether they wish to pay a fee or a commission?
Either or. Yeah.
But you shouldn't be capping, in the society that we have, you shouldn't be capping the commissions that could be earned. So, and the result of that has been, the empirical evidence has definitely been that Australians are underinsured. Michelle Levy did a good job on this. She recognised that we have massive underinsurance problem and the number of people insured had halved. Now, that was one issue. The second issue is we asked for relief from compliance obligations. So you have ongoing fee obligations. We asked that those annual fee consent forms, as recommended in the Hayne Review, actually be abolished. That hasn't happened, but we'll continue to press for that. It is an administrative burden, and anyone in practice. Now, I'm in practice. I'm a financial advisor. Yes. I run an advice business. But every year when we go through the fee consent forms, this is an onerous exercise. You answer a lot of questions, and you do lose clients.
And it creates confusion with the client, do you think?
And the older the client, the more confusion.
Yeah.
Right, that's an issue. And the other thing is that we've asked for relief from the annual opt-in. If a client is a client, why do we need every year? It came from the Hayne Royal Commission. Yep. Every year we say, are you happy to retain me and my colleagues as your advisor, even though you've been doing this for 20 years? Yeah. So there's an issue. And I guess the last thing we've been putting to the legislators is that, look, you've got a vast body of legislation. You have a well-resourced ASIC. Can you look upon us more as professions, which you told us we are, and allow us to use a bit more professional judgment, which hasn't been happening. Yeah. We'll keep pushing for that.
So if these changes are implemented, the ones you've recommended, what do you think that'll change in the financial services industry, and more importantly, What will it do for the consumer?
Number one, there will be more efficiency in advice practices. That's the first thing. Number two, accessibility to the advisor will increase because we can spend more time talking to clients, delivering real outcomes, rather than being concerned about compliance obligations.
Filling out forms.
Filling out forms, the bureaucracy, and I know that the legislation, even now, delivering better financial outcomes legislation, the intent, maybe not the execution, but the intent is to reduce the complexity of compliance obligations.
Lionel, thank you very much for being with us today. That's terrific. Thanks for the
You're more than
summary.
welcome, Mark, anytime.